What is up, you guys? So it is another episode of Bono's Nothing. We're talking about Evony, the King's Return, the mobile game. This is my official review and walkthrough with tips and just some common sense. So first off, this game is absolutely phenomenal. I can't recommend it enough. It is a game that takes a long time to really understand and finesse. There's a lot of things going on here. Right off the bat, let's just say yes, there's puzzles. There's these puzzles that you can do. Lots of fun. People have really enjoyed them. Um, Here, I'll just open one up so that you guys can see. So, they do have these fun puzzles. People have really loved, seeing these added to the game. As a strategy PvP player, I could go either way. But, this is. I haven't beat this particular one, and this spring thing here is a new one to me. I imagine you have to launch the player over these spikes and over this wheel of death. But let's leave for now. So the game's phenomenal. There's puzzles, there's PvP gameplay, which is a lot of fun. There's PvE, and there's also this city building that is a huge requirement for growth in the game. So I'm going to a keep 33 here. I've got 267 days left. So what I need to do is I need to get some bosses so that I can get some speed ups. I recently used all of my speed ups to get my level 32 stables unlocked, and that gave me tier 13 cavalry troops. So what I'm hoping to do is slowly build these up and eventually have maybe 500,000 of them and be able to march against some much, much bigger bosses. So, um, yeah, tips. My my biggest tip would be to join an alliance. So what you do is you go down here, you click this button here, and then you could go search for an alliance. Now, what I would do is I would look at the leaderboards of your server, and I would find out which excuse me, got a little allergies, and I would try to figure out which alliance is going to be the best alliance to be in. So on my particular server, this is the layout. It's HMB, LMT, BDS, FUK, AAR, or ARR, MNO, TZK, CS1. So the funny thing about HMB is hands down, the best alliance on our server. They've been that way for a long time. They probably will continue to be. LMT started about a year ago. They're kind of these offshoots of HMB that, I don't really know the whole story, but they were associated and, they kind of broke off and took some people with them. BDS is a really quiet group in our alliance. They're nice people. I've played with them in other alliances, but as far as just communicating on the server, they're a really quiet alliance. That doesn't mean they're quiet people. I'm sure in alliance chat they have strong opinions. FUK is the alliance that I'm in. So what I would do is I would pick one of these alliances over 1 billion power, and I would apply to them. Now, if I were new to this server, I probably wouldn't apply to HMB just because they're such big players. I don't think they would want a new player on their team. I could be wrong. I've never applied to them. Same thing with LMT. BDS, I know they're nice. No, I actually know some people over there. They're nice. They have accepted new players. I know we accept new-ish players. So, that I would say find an alliance, find a home, start making some friends. In alliance chat, don't be afraid to be friendly. It is, it these are people. These are real people. You are going to play with them for a long time. My next little bit of information is this is a very, very long-term game. So I've been playing this game for over 5 years. I've been playing this game with most of the people in my alliance for about 3 years. And those players in the other alliance that I know, I've been playing with them for a total of 5 years. So when you make mistakes in this game, it feels tragic. It feels like the end of the world, but you really can't look at it like that. You really just have to go, that's part of the game. Let's move forward, because mistakes will happen. You will lose battles. You will attack someone, and you'll lose battles. So remember, it's a super, super long-term game, and don't get stressed out over small losses or even getting completely zeroed. It's just part of the game. You got to take the highs with the lows. So just don't beat yourself up if you forget your shield and you get zeroed. So my next bit of information would be server politics. This game is a great city development game. It's a great PvP game. But one of the things that really makes it a unique PvP game is the server politics. So on our server, there is a group of leaders that have established kind of a rule over the whole server. And these players are throughout all the big alliances. So the top 10 alliances have 2 designated leaders that are part of the leadership council. And this council makes decisions on how people should be punished for breaking the rules, what to do when the game starts throwing new curveballs at the players. Sometimes the game will do like a maintenance update and the shields won't go back up. So these alliance leaders will meet up and they'll say, okay, no attacking this person or this person. There's also been scenarios where players have gotten into car accidents or have been in highly publicized, criminal cases, and they have made exceptions for these players on the server, sending out emails asking not to hit a certain player. When you hit those players, there can be consequences. I did this. I was part of my alliance's leadership. I wasn't in the overall server committee, but I was gaining some sort of credibility here on my home server. And I made the mistake of attacking one of my allies, and not just one of them, but like all of their players that had shields down. And I immediately kind of lost credibility. And so what I did to recoup my reputation is I just kind of went quiet. I started playing by the rules, started focusing on growing and running boss rallies, and things really started turning around for me after that. So join a good alliance. Remember, the game's not a short-term game. It's a very long time frame. I like to break games up into 3 segments: the start, the mid game, and the end game. So right now, I'm approaching the end game. I'd say end game is like keep 33, keep 34, keep 35. Mid game is like keep 32 down to like 25, and the start of the game is up to K25. The reason I say the game starts at K25 is because that's when you get tier 10 troops and you can start hitting larger bosses and you can really start accelerating your growth. So yeah, that's my review of Evony. Join an alliance. Remember, the game's not going to last. The game is not a short game. It's very, very long term. Remember, if you're on a new server, get involved. There are going to be server politics involved, and get into an alliance. Yeah. So if you're new to Evony, if you have questions, as always, put them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to help. If you recognize me, if you're on one of these, if you're on 29, 39, give me a comment, send me a wave. I'll be more than happy to help you out. And yeah, play on, play strong, and keep watching out for more Evony videos. All right, you guys.